Hey guys, welcome back to Tying Tuesday. My name is Kyle and today we are tying up the Jigged CDC Hothead pheasant tail for you today. Cool little pattern. You know, you can use this on a Euro rig, fish this under an indicator. Probably be a good little still water bug too, with pre-spawn going on. A lot of eggs in the water right now, so that hothead should make it interesting for sure. Yeah, let's get started. So the hook I'm using for this guy today is a Fulling Mill 5045 jig hook in a size 12. But you can tie these all the way from a size 12 all the way down to probably a size 20. But for the video purposes today, we will be tying it a little bigger just to show the detail. So I'm inserting my bead on this hook. This bead is a MFC slotted tungsten bead in a 3.8 mil. And then the thread I'm using for this guy today is just a 6/0 UTC 70 in black. I'm gonna go ahead and start my thread right behind the bead there. Get a good lock wrap right behind that bead. Trim out my tag. Then we're gonna work this thread to right where the barb would be on this hook, to about right there. Work my thread back up. Next, we're gonna grab our ribbing material, which is just UTC wire and small and copper. I'm gonna tie this on my side, catching it right behind the bead there. And work my thread right there. And I'm trying to build a little bit of a taper on this guy too. My thread here. Alright, next we're going to tie on our tail, which is just natural pheasant tail here. I'm going to take, I don't know, 5 to 6 fibers off the side of the feather there. Make sure my tips are lined up. I'm going to do one loose wrap just to catch it right on top. Like that. See where I want to line this up at. That looks good right there. Then I'm going to go back underneath that material and work my thread up towards the bead there. Next, we're going to take the rest of this pheasant tail fibers that we used for the tail, and we're just going to start wrapping these forward. Be careful not to hit the point of the hook there, it will snap these. And just take your time with this. Give one more wrap, there we go. Catch it with my fingers there. Capture that off. Just like that. Trim out my excess. And then next we're going to counter wrap our wire. And counter wrapping the wire just ensures durability. Just take your time, good clean spaced out wraps here. Right there we go. I'm gonna capture that wire off. And helicopter the excess out. There we go. And just clean this up a little bit here because we are going to add some more material to the thorax area. All right, next I'm gonna take my hook. It's usually easier with a rotary vise here. I don't have a full rotary, so I have to camp my hook at like a 45 here in the vise. So when I flip it around, I have room to work with there. I'm a little too far. There we go. Just a little too far. There we go, perfect. Next we're gonna add in our tinsel, the flashback on this guy. This is just a large opal tinsel and from Hareline. I'm gonna put a little notch in this guy so it gives me a good timing point. And then I'm going to come on my side there. It's gonna be a little tricky on jig hooks, so just take your time with it. Make sure it's centered. And then wrap that forward. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna put my hook straight again in the vise. There we go. Tinsel's moved out of the way there. Then next I'm going to take a couple pieces of Peacock Herl and line these up and then tie this in. You want to be careful with Peacock Herl. It's a very brittle material, so just take your time with it. If it breaks off, just start over. Let me get the tinsel out of the way there. There we go. And we're just going to start wrapping this forward. Right there. Capture that Peacock Herl off. A few wraps. Snip that out. And then we are going to go back to the bottom here, and then we're going to fold our flashback over, catch that with one wrap of thread, make sure it's lined up, just like that. And come in here and cut out our excess. Try to get this as close as you can. A few more wraps there. And then we're gonna straighten our hook back again. And then we are going to make a dubbing loop here. It's a little small guy, I don't know, 3-incher. Add in our dubbing spinner. And the collar on this guy is just a CDC standard, and this is in dark dun. Take one of these feathers, and you can do this with a dubbing loop clip. I find it a little easier, and I've been used to just sticking half the feather in the loop there. Kind of holding tension on that thread and just cutting up the stem there. Just like that. And then give this guy a spin. Like so. I'm going to start wrapping this forward. And as I wrap, I'm going to start palmering it back. Like that. I'm going to capture that loop off. Couple wraps of thread there. And trim out my tag. And give this guy a whip finish. Like there. Trim out my thread. And then I like to take these CDC fibers, kind of push them forward here, and just kind of trim off a little bit of the long ones here. And then to kind of expose that flashback, I like to trim out just the bottom section of the CDC here. Just like that. And there you have it, the Hothead Jigged CDC pheasant tail. If you like this pattern today, you could give us a like and subscribe on YouTube here. You can find all these materials at avidmax.com or come see us in the shop in Centennial. Thanks for watching.